We got Jew Almighty talking about Antonio talks is using religion to divide black people. Let's check it out and let's just see what's going on.
Antonio speaks is using religion to divide black people, and I don't rock with that.
These black Christians are so brainwashed. Anytime a black Christian talk, they're going to say something that is anti-black and white supremacist rule. I need all of them.
It's the same thing we talk about when it comes to black people. If you just putting all the black Christians in a box, it's probably not all of them. Now, I'm pretty sure Antonio is probably going to say somewhere out the video, it's probably not all of them. I hope he does, but it's not. You know, I met a lot of white, black, it doesn't matter. Christians in general, I met a lot of good Christians. I've seen extremes. I've seen just normal people that's just totally respectful, living their life, dope. They understand that they are black. They understand that they're Christian too, and they live in the way of God, but they respect it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't condemn the whole thing, but let's keep watching. We early.
Want black people to get out of this religious psychosis. Whenever you let a black Christian talk long enough, they're going to sound like a white supremacist. There's no way around that shit. These are the exact same black Christians that believe, you know, we were better off as...
I do disagree with that. I don't think just because you're black and you're Christian, you're going to start sounding like a white supremacist. Maybe if you're saying, hey, black people deserve slavery because they was worshiping demons, like we've been hearing in the media now with some of these commentators, and because of that, it was Jesus that finally got us right, and which is why we thrive today after slavery. That's different though.
Slavery than in Africa because, you know, we were worshiping trees. This is how they think.
What he's doing is really no different than what these black MAGA conservatives are being called out for, which is using their ideologies to demonize and criticize anybody that doesn't agree with them in the black community.
Most black men are silly like this guy, but the most racist people in America are black people, hands down.
You hear about slavery for 400 years? For 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
You're black and you're religious, then you're under a psychosis or you need help. And I have a problem with that because it creates division at a time when black people need to be unified. Black people are currently facing more overt racism than we've ever seen in our lifetimes.
The institution of slavery is not inherently evil.
If I see a black pilot,
Jeez.
I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Mr. President, I implore you, call for a civil war and let us do our thing. Let us go door to door, street by street, and clean this country.
What? Yeah, dumbass. Do you know what a civil war would look like? A real civil war? Even if y'all won, genius, this country would be fucked beyond repair. And there's going to be a real war to take over what's left of you motherfuckers. When all the jobs, like a real civil war. Do you understand what a real civil war implied? Stop.
Man, fight back! White man, fight back!
One of the messages.
White man, fight back. Last time I checked, it wasn't us. That was...
referred to black people as monkeys and watermelon people.
It is not inherently evil to own another human being.
I just don't think we as people have the luxury to be divided over something like faith right now.
And I'm not telling you to not believe in a higher power, but this white God and this Christian or whatever you want to believe in, bro, this shit sound bullshit.
We literally have self-admitted Nazis working at high levels in the federal government, making policies that will negatively affect the black community. But we're here arguing with each other about what God people pray to. This is a distraction. We have way bigger issues to tackle.
I don't necessarily know if he's arguing about what God you pray to. I think he's just saying that some of the beliefs and what it could have you believe in, if preached the wrong way, could have you looking at your own people or other black people a certain way.
I think understanding and respecting other people's perspectives and beliefs, even if you don't agree with it, is essential to understanding the world, challenging your worldview, and growing as a person. Whether you're agnostic...
Honestly, that is what America is, right? Is the ability that, hey, everybody can believe what they want to believe, and we respect it. We don't have to agree with it. I mean, that's essential to America.
Buddhist, Muslim, Christian, Catholic, or just a spiritualist. I believe you have something to offer the world. It matters to me that you're a good person more than anything else. As people, especially black people in this current environment, we should be able to talk, share ideas, challenge each other, disagree respectfully, but still grow individually while being unified as people. So when I see Antonio using his platform to demonize black people because they have faith or question their mental stability,
I want you to go find me black Christian. Talk to them long enough, and they gonna say some racist shit, and they gonna be black. You know what I'm saying? I was saying most of these people don't really care about racism, bro. These are the exact same black Christians that believe, you know, we were better off in slavery than in Africa because, you know, we were worshiping trees.
I think he's probably seen so many videos of black people getting shit on because we're just living in a time where that is boomed again. It's circulating so much. He's probably sick of the shit. He probably like, yo, let me be the voice to come out and combat that shit. And he's probably going extra hard. What they say? Overly hard. He's probably going extra crazy to combat these things.
This is how they think, y'all. This is how they think. Man, I'm so pro-black, bro, but we can't save certain niggas, bro. We really can't.
It's disappointing. He's uploaded 2 different videos about this subject. And in both of those videos, he's purposely cherry-picked the craziest clips that even other Christians will find weird. In the first video, he had some clip about a lady seeing SpongeBob in hell.
I had a dream that I saw SpongeBob in hell taking orders from demons. Like, the demons were telling him what to do on TV, what to put on this, as God is my witness, I am not lying. I have no reason to lie. This would be a stupid lie, okay?
Stop it. Get some help.
And now this woman saying our ancestors are in hell.
That Deontay Kyle, young man, on the Chicken and Grits or Eggs and Grits podcast, He gonna lead y'all straight to the ancestors that are burning in hell right now, demons.
Both of those clips are insane, but it fits his narrative. Antonio's not trying to have a balanced or honest conversation about faith or why people believe in what they believe. He clearly dislikes religion and has a real disdain for black people that believe in Christ.
Jesus is standing in the way of the power of your gratitude really being fulfilled, right? You are misplacing your gratitude. You give all of the gratitude to the blood of Jesus and his sacrifice, but our ancestors spilled their blood, sacrificed their lives, sacrificed their pride, sacrificed their dignity, and endured not only for our sake, but for the sake of your children. They had us in mind, right? And they don't get any acknowledgement. You don't acknowledge your own blood that was sacrificed. You acknowledge the sacrifice of this man.
We respect and honor our grandparents.
I'm not even Christian, but I feel like you could do both. And I feel like it does say something if you can't. Right? If you're a Christian and you still can't honor the sacrifices of your ancestors, you are a descendant of slaves, you should be able to still do that. You can do both. I think he's just saying some of these people don't give any acknowledgement, any gratitude to the people that actually had to work, right? Even God say faith without works is dead. So respect the work. You can give yourself gratitude for the work that you put in, because if you don't put in that work, then you're veering off the course of what your destiny is. That's just my interpretation of it. Let me know in the comments if you think something differently or you have a different interpretation. I'm willing to hear it.
Parents, our great-grandparents. So really for most of us, our knowledge of our ancestry doesn't go much further than that. Maybe 3 or 4 generations back. But I do think there's love and reverence for older generations, especially what black people have done for us through civil rights. But if he's saying that we're not honoring every single sacrifice that every generation in our family made, then sure, that's true.
They called on him. He didn't show up.
That's not how faith works. Nobody calls on God expecting an invisible hand or a bright beam of light to show up and rescue you from a situation. When people pray or they call on God, they're asking for strength and courage to navigate a situation. Now, you can argue when somebody calls on God and they find that strength or courage, that it was already internally in them.
He gets all the glory. You should be glorifying your ancestors.
Right.
It's literally your blood. It's in your...
You can do both. Like, it doesn't hurt you to give praise to a higher power. That doesn't hurt anybody. You can do that. But I'm just saying, why can't we do both? If you are religious, you should be able to praise God and praise your Lord and whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in, and you can still believe in ancestors. And to everybody else, that should be okay. It should be okay. It's not hurting anybody.
Genetic code, you might wake something up. Because you'll not only be glorifying yourself, you'll be glorifying the people who are the reason you're here in the first place.
You can have faith to still honor your ancestors. It doesn't have to be one or the other. You can acknowledge your ancestors' sacrifices and what they did for you and still believe in God.
And I think that's one of the issues, the overarching image of Jesus in the Christian religion is of him on the cross, the sacrifice he made, the blood he shed. But what about the blood that our ancestors shed here on this land for us? For this country, inventing in spite of, building cities, operating in the free market. The free market was good until it was a thriving black community, then they interrupted it.
The counterpoint is you can do both. You can still honor and revere your ancestors while believing in God and having faith. But when you start drawing lines in the sand and treating other black people like they're irredeemable or lost because of what they believe, that's a problem. At that point, you're no different than any of these bootlicking black MAGA conservatives that we criticize.
That is hard to contend with. I just don't know what side I really fall on as far as like how far can a person go to be so damaging. I don't feel like anybody's irredeemable, but depending on how much harm and damage you've done, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be in line with me in the battlefield. That's not what's happening. And if you knew what you were doing, that's a huge one too. Did you knowingly preach this bullshit for a financial gain, or did you really believe that and now you understand this and you think differently now?
Oh, everyone black that's not a conservative, brainwashed, low IQ, or slave. Antonio is doing the same thing. He's polarizing people against each other, saying any black person that tries to speak about religion or explain Christianity sounds like a white supremacist.
This religion shit makes y'all say some crap. That's what I'm saying. Anytime a black Christian talk, they're going to say something that is anti-black and white supremacist rooted. Every single time, bro.
I honestly don't care what anyone believes. There are so many enlightened, intelligent, and well-rounded black people that are Muslims, Christians, Rastafarians, some people that believe in the stars and the moon, who are receptive, think critically, and speak thoughtfully without judgment. And just like those Christian clips that Antonio likes to use, you can find crazy clips from anyone of any belief saying something off the wall online. And that's the same with people that don't believe in anything. It's not a religious issue, it's a human issue. And no one should think they're superior to anyone because they don't get on their knees to pray. You can be religious or spiritual, and you can still honor your ancestors, revere your heritage, and practice faith. It was actually Malcolm's dedication to his faith that made him one of the most intellectual black men and fiercest speaker of his time. If you've ever read his autobiography, which you should if you haven't,
it's Malcolm X. You can talk about Martin Luther King as well. There's a lot of people that had faith and still fought for the black community.
It's impossible to finish that book and not understand the power of faith. How belief can transform, motivate, and elevate a person beyond where they ever thought they could even go with their life. And I doubt Harriet Tubman left any of our ancestors behind because they prayed. Being so judgmental about what other people...
Harriet was a little different though. She wasn't leaving nobody behind for nothing. She was like, look, at the end of the day, this slave owner ain't gonna have no more slaves. So you gonna leave this plantation, one or two ways. You're either gonna leave with me or you're gonna leave with the sky. You pick.
People believe and causing an unnecessary rift in the black community doesn't help anybody. It's not really about waking anybody up. It's about judgment.
And like I say, I want you to go find any black Christian, talk to them long enough, and they gonna say some racist shit, and they gonna be black. You know what I'm saying? I say most of these people don't really care about racism. And it's like these black Christians are so brainwashed, man. I mean, like, I say this all the time. I have conversations with y'all all the time in the comments. Everything that has freed black people was from black people. I don't care if they were Christian. A lot of y'all love to use the argument that during the civil rights movement, MLK and stuff, they were using Christian, they was in the churches and stuff. Who built those churches? Who put the resources in those churches? Who was actually strategizing? Those were the works of black people, or even just people. God didn't strike down and put a church right there.
It isn't a magical being that's going to bring a church and actualize a church just out of thin air. Like that's not what he's doing. But a lot of people feel like it was the spirit that was put into them to keep them going, to keep them fighting, to keep them doing X, Y, and Z and having hope and pride. And honestly, like, whatever you had to do to endure to get through some of those times, if that was your motivator, if that was your drive, I'm definitely not about to sit here and condemn any of those people. They were spiritual. If that worked, understand that church could have been also used for like code, right? Scriptures, certain hymns and stuff like that. That was code to get people out of something or through something or whatever it was, whether it was mentally, physically. I don't feel comfortable speaking. Like, respect to the ancestors.
Then to strike down and put the resources in there. We had to actually go do that ourselves.
There's a conflict there because our ancestors were people with faith, and that faith got them through everything that they had to endure and fight for to get us to where we are today as a society. Just like you respect ancestors that are naturalists, you have to respect the ancestors that were people of faith that still fought and made advances for black people. You can't ignore or demean what they believe just because you don't like it now. Seriously, the same type of language they use in saying black people are under a psychosis, still slaves are lost, is the same type of language these black conservatives use when they describe black Democrats. I said before.
Now, the only thing that I could possibly say, like, shoot Antonio's side a little bit of bail, is times are different. So maybe they're saying you don't have to go that hard. I mean, that's kind of hard to say to a person who's religious, right? Because that is, it's not a job, right? You don't clock in and clock out. You are that first, right? Those people had something that they had to get through and they had to use it to their strengths and stuff like that. And nowadays you don't have to use, like, again, I'm not saying this and I'm not trying to put these words in Antonio's mouth, but I'm guessing maybe that could be his response to this. I'm not sure.
I have faith, I believe in God, but I'm not much for religion. There are a lot of things I don't like about churches, especially how greedy and financial everything seems.
This Bentley that I park in the church is not just for me, it's for the church, it's for us. Can we drive it? No, God wouldn't want that in Jesus' name.
Hi, Roberta McCoy.
Is that really going on at a church? What? Can we drive it? That's true. No, God wouldn't want me. There's a lot, like Kenneth Copeland, there's a lot of those clips of, oh, I need to jet because I need to get around, or I need to think by myself. I need to think, whoa, y'all kind of.
Giving faith and stand in unity with the vision of perfecting church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
But I'm not gonna demonize.
Look, I don't know what's going on in that church. Maybe that's the church of the filthy rich. Maybe people keep coming up there with not 1,000 and 1,000. So he like, yo, are you not hearing me? I said 1,000. Maybe he doing smaller donations later. Stop coming up here with the small. That's a small. That's crazy.
Anybody that goes to church just because I don't agree with. There are good people there and people that stand up for and make advances for the black community.
Sing the flags of the United States of America at half-staff, calling this nation to honor and venerate a man who was an unapologetic racist and spent all of his life sowing seeds of division and hate into this land. And hearing people with selective rage who were mad about Charlie Kirk but didn't give a damn about Melissa Hortman and her husband when they were shot down in their home.
The president, Donald Trump.
Tell me I ought to have compassion for the death of a man who had no respect for my own life.
Just like you can find in many other religions or no religion at all. So I just don't agree with any black person using their platform to purposely divide people because of something like faith.
Instead of us praising, God or Jesus, whatever, why not give that same thanks to the ancestors that died to give us rights, going through civil rights, Jim Crow, back to slavery, getting lit? Why not show love to them? But instead,
why not do both? If you're religious. If you're not religious, obviously you don't have to do both. I would hope you still respected the people that paved the way for you to have the life you have. And I get everybody's life isn't great right now. Understand you have it a lot better. I understand there's still a lot of work that has to be done. We still got a lot of progress to be made, but understand the differences.
We give all our thanks to Jesus and you know, God. It's like, it's so backwards. And listen, if you are a Christian, this is no shot at you. Like I said, I want you to critical think.
It's funny, you can't say it's no shot at Christians and then take direct shots at Christians. Calling out or talking
Yeah, you've been firing Christians up. He was flaming them up. Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
down on black people because they believe something you don't believe is unnecessary.
If you actually sit down and think about it, you see how stupid it sounds. And I'm just being 100, but you gotta free y'all minds for real.
We're facing real challenges from an administration that wants to roll back time for us to the 1940s. Racists are crawling out of the woodwork loud and proud. And this economy is beating everybody down, but the black community is probably going to be hurt the most. I just don't think we as people have the luxury to be divided over something like faith right now. We need to stick together, and that starts with not condemning other black people because they believe in something different than you. And for black people with platforms like ours, I think we should be building community, not tearing it down.
I think this was an interesting video, and I think that it's one that in the black community, people who want to break free from the religion part, from the Christianity part, and understand the harm. And then there's a lot of people who use it to their benefit, and it actually does help them, and it gets them through. And then obviously you have the sect that are probably demonizing the religion, using it for personal gain. And that's what this side is upset about. They're like, no, this is why I don't want to get into it. And these other Christians should be calling that out and saying, hey, that's not how we rock. That's not how we move. That's not us. I would like to see if Antonio says anything in response, just to clear up things or maybe double down on some things. I don't know. I do appreciate you guys. If you're watching right now, please hit the sub button, support the channel, help it grow. Hit that like button. And if you got any comments, like always, go ahead and drop them in the comment section below.